Hi, I'm Jill Freshy, and we're here today talking about the Sundance Film Festival. I'm here with longtime Sundance attendees Deb Turgeon, Gail Ruth, and Marcy Marcus. Sundance Film Festival started many years ago by Robert Redford. It takes place in January every year in Utah, and it was actually named after the actor's character in the Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid. Gail, I'm going to start with you. How did you get familiar with Sundance?
Well, that was interesting. My kids were friends with these other kids at school, and the mom, who I'm friendly with, was involved in this movie called Dare. That was about 6 years ago. And she said, and my daughter is way into movies, and she said if her movie got chosen, that she was going to go and she was going to bring her kids. I said, well, if you guys go, I'm going to go. And I would have never been able to go unless she kind of guided me, because it's a whole ordeal, you know, to register for the passes and do everything. So I was glad that she kind of led the way. And then I came back, I guess, and I told all of you that, you know, how much fun it was, and we saw so many movies, and it was, you know, really fun. And then, you know, we all decided that we'd go.
Right. So you talked about the passes. Marcy, explain, is it difficult to get passes to the, and do you need a pass in order to go to the Sundance Film Festival?
It's the best way to see the, you know, the films that you want to see. It's not an easy process. It's almost as if it's a lottery type of process. So, you know, at one date you have to register, and then you get a date that you can actually pick the packages that are available. And each package, you know, some packages are 20 tickets, 30 tickets, 40 tickets. I mean, the prices range from $1,000 to $5,000. So depending on really what you want to do. And then after they give you the package, they give you another date to pick your movies. And that's the hardest part, because you need to pick your movies, press a button, and if one movie is sold out, you got to go back and do the whole thing. So it's a little bit of a game. This is one of the things they give out at the actual Sundance Film Festival. As you can see, they give you all sorts of schedules, and there's a whole book of movies. So there's hundreds of movies to pick from. We typically like to see the premieres, the ones where we're going to see the stars and the cast members, which is also a nice thing. After each movie, the cast is typically there, especially in a premiere, to answer questions and just go over, you know, how the casting happened, how the director decided, where the story came from. So that's also an interesting part. But there's hundreds of movies, so we as a group like to do the premieres first, and if we don't get the premieres, we go into things that we're interested in.
Right, subjects.
Yeah.
So talk about the premieres a little bit. You watch the movie. There's a press line beforehand, right?
Correct.
So if you have a press pass, you can see the stars walk to the red carpet, the stars see the movie, you watch the movies, and then talk about the Q&A afterwards a little bit. Is that your favorite part, or?
Definitely my favorite part, because you learn things in there that, you know, you wouldn't know if you just went to the movies. Like a couple years ago, I saw that Beasts of the Southern Wild that became a blockbuster, and, you know, but the guy was on stage afterwards. He said, you know, I had this vision for the movie, and I didn't want any real actors. The main character was a baker in their town, but he knew he was going to be right for the part, and the little girl, he knew that she was going to be right, and it took years to assemble the cast. The guy had to close his bakery for the couple weeks that they were filmed. So to learn those kind of things, you know, from the movie, just to see the movie, it added so much to it.
Yeah.
A lot of the subject matter of this entire film festival was about addictions to various subjects,
Right.
Sexual addictions, pornography, drugs, gambling.
Right.
It seemed like there was a big
Alcohol. Yeah,
alcohol,
there was a lot.
a lot of addiction
That was a
topic.
theme.
That was a main theme in the movies that we saw. Not every movie, but it seems like every one we picked out had that sort of a topic to it.
Getting back to the tickets a minute, if you didn't, or if you weren't lucky enough to get a package, the lottery system didn't work out for you, can you still go there and just e-waitlist or waitlist?
Yeah. It's 2 hours ahead of time. You have to sit there and it's counting down on your phone, and you're so nervous, and you have to push it real fast, and you push it like in 1 second, and you're still like number 200 or something.
Wow.
That's not. It seems like they should change that a little bit.
Yeah, and then you have to. So 2 hours before you.
So then you get a number.
You get a number if
you
you're
know,
lucky enough.
Right. Sometimes even the wait list, because
And you
they
can
only
do it with
have,
one other friend.
Right. You can do it with
All
a
right, so
friend.
then you both go to the
Two
theater.
numbers, right.
So a half an hour. You
Half
must
hour.
be in your line position a half hour ahead of time, or else you have to go to the back of the line.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, and we've been put to the back of the line. You're a minute late, and they go, nope, back of the line.
absolutely.
So, yeah,
That's done.
they're very strict about that.
But it's very
Wow.
well run. It is very, very timely.
Yes.
Everything is perfectly timed.
Yeah.
At a certain time, they don't let you in. They don't.
That's-
It is very, very well run in that respect.
So if you didn't want to see movies, are there other things to do?
Of course.
Yes.
You're in Park City, Utah, one of the
Skiing.
best skiing places, in the
But
United
there's that
States.
music cafe.
There's a music
and-
cafe. There's something called the New Frontier
Yeah.
Exhibition Space. What did you think of that?
That was very cool.
It's a movie that's set up kind of in 3D, like 360 degrees. So, like, instead of something just in front of you where you sit still, you have to look around to see the movie.
They had that thing where you got in and
Pretend you were flying, like
you thought you were
a
flying.
bird.
And
then
they had
the
the
virtual
cameras,
reality.
the virtual
Oh, I didn't do
reality.
that.
A lot of virtual
cameras.
reality and panoramic, where you felt like the character was right there, and you could touch them with the.
Or the camera was put on, and if you looked up and to the left and around, like the movie was going on
panorama.
360 degrees around you.
Canon had a sponsored laboratory. What was that like?
I did not actually make it to the Canon laboratory. Did
didn't
I didn't
Did
either.
you make it? There were a lot of things to see, and not.
Yeah. Well, I know they had, I did go. They had the new cameras and the drones they were explaining, and they had people talking about the different cameras, different lenses. They had beverages and snacks, and then they had panels, which were very interesting. As we're wrapping up, one thing that I'm sure everybody would like to know about are the parties.
What happens in Utah stays in Utah.
Go to the road.
So we've snuck into a few press parties.
Yes.
What are they like?
It's, to me, surprisingly like going to
To
a
a-
party anywhere
Or
else.
a club
but
in
with,
a
with
techno.
people that, with stars. I mean, you're starstruck a little bit. We went to a party, I remember we were like in line at a buffet, and Liv Tyler was in front of me, or I was in front of Liv Tyler, and like you're taking food, and it's
Right.
like like a normal person is next to you.
And and I remember saying to Liv, like, "Oh, I loved your movie. You were so fabulous." And she was like, "Really?
Yeah.
Did you really think so?" And so, our opinion really does matter to them.
does. But you also find out, when we talked to Patrick Wilson, he has a child. We found out about his wife. We found out that she's also an actress in New York. So you find out these things about them, and they actually talk to you like, they care.
They are just
They're
people.
just people. They're just people.
So wrapping up, would you ever see yourself getting more involved in the movie making process? Does it feel more accessible having been to Sundance?
Absolutely, I think. I mean, I do feel like it's, whether I'm going to get involved, I doubt it, but you just kind of feel like if someone
Like,
could
this
shoot a
could be
movie
me. Yeah.
on an iPhone 5,
Right.
I
Right.
could do that too. Anyone
Maybe
could do
we
that.
should do one of the group going to the movie.
Going
have
to
our
Sundance.
Sundance, our
I do think that would be a good comedy. Yeah.
Well,
Getting
we
the-
always have fun.
I do
We
think
always have
there's
do a
always
lot of
something.
laughing.
Yeah.
All right.
There's definitely a story there.
Yeah. All right. Well, thank you all for
you.
talking about Sundance. And are we going to do this again next year?
Remains to
What,
be
same
seen.
time next year? Wasn't that a
Maybe.
movie?
Maybe.
All right. Thank
We
you.
hope to.